In the post-COVID scenario that we are in right now, we regularly have to make presentations in front of the management or our peers. So here are the 7 hand gestures that we need to take care of while making an effective presentation. So let's start with the number 1. Hands above the waist. This is called the power area. The area between the waist and the face is called the power area that needs to be used as much as possible when we are presenting. This power area helps to amplify your personal presence and the impression of confidence. So whenever you're using hand gestures, always keep your hands around this area. In this purview, this is called the power space or the power area. Number 2 is avoid pointing at the audience. Whenever we are pointing at the audience while presenting, it feels like we are being aggressive and rude to the audience. Instead, we can do this pose to just show, have you understood my point? And this is what this gesture shows. Squeeze your index finger against your thumb to make the OK gesture. This motion is authoritative but not aggressive as pointing would be. When we make this gesture, the OK gesture, it shows that we are trying to make the audience understand our point without being aggressive or rude. The third is the use of open palms. Whenever we are presenting using the gesture open palms, it shows that we are approachable. It shows that we are connecting to the audience and that the audience feels very safe when we are presenting. Hence, this helps in easily building trust with the audience. By keeping your palms down without even realizing it, your tone is slightly threatening and directs the audience to be submissive. When we present while keeping our hands down, it signals the audience that they need to become submissive, that they need to feel threatened because of me, which is not a correct way of presenting. We have to connect and the audience has to trust us back. That is why we have to have open palms to make sure that we are building that trust with the audience. There was one research study which said that lecturers in colleges, when they present something with open palms, they receive a positive feedback by over 84%. And when the same presentation is done with palms down, then the positive feedback comes down to 52%. Number 4, which is extremely important, that is we should always limit our hands movement. The more hand movement we do, the more it feels like we are trying to deviate the audience from what we are trying to say to our hand gestures. So hand gestures are important, but we don't have to use it all the time. Number 5, don't hold on to anything while presenting, not even a pen, a marker or the paper that you're reading out from. It is recommended that hands should be empty so our hands can be effectively used, our fingers can be effectively used, and there is no distraction between the audience and the speaker. The 6th is the importance of resetting your arms. That is putting them at rest when you are not sure of how to use them. It is important to have hand gestures, but it is also important to put them at rest. Similar to how our body keeps on working and after a certain period of time, our body also needs a reset. Similarly, our hands also need a reset. And whenever our hands are at the resting position while presenting, it shows the audience that we're ready to present again, to again use our hand gestures. So that is a pausing time, that is a resting time for the hand, and that is also an important part of the non-verbal communication while presenting. Number 7 is the use of the side palm hand. Whenever we are handshaking, suppose we are handshaking like this, this is what is one of the important hand gestures that actually shows that you are trying to persuade the audience into believing onto what you are trying to say. This is how we are actually trying to reach out to the audience, and when we are doing this kind of a hand gesture, the audience feels that they have to connect to the hand because the hand is coming 50% onto the stage. So what happens is, if I'm a speaker and if I'm putting my hand, the audience automatically feels that they have to put their hand over there. Even though they don't put it because they're at far distance, but they start imagining that thing. And that imagination brings about the kind of connection that is needed between the audience and the speaker. When we use this side palm gesture, it actually tries to persuade the audience into understanding and believing as to what we are saying. So this is a very important gesture used by one of the big personalities like Barack Obama and Narendra Modi. Hand gestures are a powerful way to raise excitement and keep the audience's attention. Effective gestures help to build trust and convey the ideas more clearly. Gesturing actually makes people pay closer attention to the acoustics of the speech. Through the hand gestures, our words become more effective and we are more clearly able to deliver and make the audience understand what we are trying to. So, coming back to the research that I talked about in the beginning of this video, I said that when we use hand gestures, as per the research done by scientists all across the world, it has been seen that when we are using hand gestures while presenting, we are amplifying the effectiveness of our presentation by over 60%. And that is a crucial part of non-verbal communication that we are doing through our body language, which is speaking as much as our words. So whenever you're making a presentation next in front of your friends, family or office members, always remember the importance of hand gestures and understand that the use of hand gestures are as important as words. So when you're preparing your content or writing down your speech, also think about the hand gestures that you're going to use. Also prepare your hand gestures accordingly. So this line, this will be my hand gesture. When I'm pausing at this moment, this is going to be my hand gesture. This is when I'm going to rest my hands and let it do nothing at all. Well, I hope you like the contents of this video. Because I'm a certified public speaker, I've always received a lot of importance around non-verbal communication and the use of hand gestures, which I have collected and presented in this video. If you have someone who presents regularly in office spaces or personal spaces, please do share this video with them. Thank you.